Alright, y'all, so we're out here in the woods today, laying out some roads and different things for this track that we're going to get ready to cut. Nothing's over here yet, no machines. This is all the prep work to start with, and this is my forester here, and I'll let him introduce himself and tell you all about it.
Yeah, my name's Ken Scruggs. I'm a graduate forester, 45 years experience. What we're doing over here, this is a tract of timberland that's owned by one of our clients, and he wants to harvest the timber over here. So what we're doing is reconning the track right now, deciding where we're going to lay the roads out, where we're going to put landings. We've already flagged the property lines. Before we ever come over here with a bulldozer, first thing we do is we go out and we put all the maps together from the courthouse or the survey plats, come out here on the ground and flag everything up and make sure it's right. And we use topographic maps religiously. And then we have aerial photos we use and stand maps. And then of course we have our plat here that all this was derived from. Here's the survey plat. This is recorded in the clerk's office. But anyway, what we're going to do is start building these roads in the next few days. We just have to have a game plan as to where we're going to put these landings. We try to keep the skids below 1,500 feet where practical. And once we get the roads graded, we're going to have to put some rock down, and then a gate's going to go up. The landowner's going to pay for the gate. It's got to go up there on the road. And we're going to clear cut most of this track, and then we're going to site prep it, and we're going to reforest it here in about a year and a half, and try to put something here that will grow a little better than some of this hardwood that's here right now. We're currently logging a track of timber adjoining this track across the creek. So anyway, this is just a process we do. What I did is when I laid the road in from the highway up to the property line here, I laid it in with a level just to make sure I get it right. And then we'll, like I said, bring the dozer in. We got to put two culverts in here, one on the highway up there, 15-inch, and look like we're going to need about a 24-inch pipe to come across the hollow there. So everything will be done according to Virginia best management practices, so nothing could get in the creeks. This property here has got a lot of different products in it. We've got hardwood pulpwood, we got hardwood pallet logs, we have hardwood cross ties, we got great hardwood in it, we have pine pulpwood, pine chip and saw, we got big pine saw timber in it. So all these products will be merchandised out at the landings. And at the end, we'll look at it when comes time to site prep it. Probably we'll do an aerial spray on it to kill everything, and then maybe even a prescribed burn. We'll just see how much slash we have. But the main objective on this track will be, mostly it's going to be to grow timber, but the secondary objective is wildlife, because the landowner loves to come down here and hunt. So we're going to do everything we can to bring in hopefully some quail populations, which if we're managing for that, we're managing for everything else for the most part. Anything you want to say?
We'll move on to something else here. Alright, so as you can see here, this, I don't know a lot about him, he can explain it better, but this shows the lay of the land, all your ridges and any streams you got and all this different stuff, and all your different info on, the different types of wood in here and your acreage and all of this, and gives you an idea of how it lays around all of the different property lines.
This area right here is not going to be harvested at all. It's a reserve area for wildlife. This is a hunting camp right here. We're going to be removing these pine stands in this green stand 1, and then the hardwood stands in stand 2, and of course we'll be leaving streamside management zones along this creek here, anywhere else it needs it. We're actually logging a piece of property right over here right now with a landing set up right here.
And actually, the one that we're logging over here is, a really nice person. The way the quotas have been, where we hadn't been able to sell a lot of hardwood, mainly what she has is hardwood. This here is his pine that is on this side of the creek, which is on her side, and she's letting us bring this up to where we're already set up, so we've been able to make a week out of it. But over here is going to be the other highway. This is a little entrance where we're coming in, and then start cutting in this block and putting decks, and this is how we're coming into it. It's a 50-foot little stretch right here. Is going to be our main highway. All right.
Here's another tool a lot of times I use when I'm out in the field if I don't want to take my professional GPS. There's an app called HuntStand, and you pay a fee every year. But you open this thing up, and if you'll go to where property information is, you can tap on that, tap up here on the center button, and it'll find exactly where you are on the ground. And here's these two pieces of property here, if it makes any sense. Right there where that blue dot is where we at on the map, which would put us about, it's going to put us about right in here.
Yep.
Let's look
Handy
at it.
little tool.
Let's look at it from the standpoint of the aerial photo. I've got everything oriented north. As you can see, there's a little field right here, which will be that field right there. This is a hunting camp right there, which is there. So that puts us somewhere in this part of the world right in here, we think.
Yeah. Handy little tool. There's the curve down there, which you can see on the map. This is a little bit of our wood around here. And in just a few minutes we'll get to laying out the sites for these loading decks. Alright y'all, so we're down in here a little deeper now where you see those roads come in together here.
Alright, looking at this right here, we're right here on the topographic map. This trail turns to the left, which is at this road we're going to use to haul on. It goes straight down there. And what we're going to do is we're going to go down here and find this saddle. We're going to put us a landing right here. We're going to put another landing right up here. Let's do that again. We're gonna put a landing in about right here. And we're going to put a landing in about right here. And that'll be 4 landings. That should take care of the whole track. We're
and
pulling
this
some
one up here, when we get done with that one, that'll be open where we can drop plenty of trailers at.
Yeah, a trailer landing. We're currently logging this timber right in here, dragging it up the hill to this spot right here. We got a landing right here on the joining landowner's property. And then we got a road coming out just like this across the other property. So we'll get as much as this we can to this land, and then the rest of it will be from this road system here, all back in here.
And up in here, we'll probably have to cross from here to get this over to here.
Yeah, he's going to bind, DJ, I'll have to put him a bridge in probably somewhere in this part of the world, or maybe even right in here, to go down here and pull this timber back up to this landing right here.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, so we're down here scouting for a landing. Probably going to put it in here. Gets us down in the woods pretty good. Lays pretty flat in here. We were thinking about in here, but we're going to probably put it off to the right of that so we don't disturb this food plot. And if you can tell on the camera, if you go behind there, it starts going uphill a little bit. You got a little grade there, so we want to stay in it flat down here.
We're right about here.
Right where we had the X at. And
right in this saddle.
Right in here looks like it lays pretty decent. We got the established road all the way in here to it. Just cap it off with some gravel and push some trees over and set a loader in here.
What we decided to do is put this landing in this saddle right here before we get to that food plot. That way we don't mess that food plot up. Because it's got red top clover planted in it. So this will make a wonderful place right here. It's nice and flat. We don't have to push up many big trees, and we will utilize the trees we push up.
And it's a lot easier to push these pines over than it is oaks. They have a lot less root system on them.
Like right in there, it's a great place because it's not too big of trees.
Yep.
Anywhere in this part of the world, right here will work anywhere. Or you can use both sides.
All right, so here is going to be our second landing in here. There's a few smaller trees in here. Shouldn't be too big of a deal to push up and level out. Still staying close to the established road in here. All right, go ahead.
Just so you guys will know, I use red flagging to indicate a road. R for red, R for road. Use pink flagging for property lines, P for property lines, pink. We use blue flagging to flag out streamside management zones. Blue is equivalent to water. And we may use some other flagging for something different. We may use paint on trees at certain situations where certain trees need to come out or either need to be left. A lot of time on big tracks where we've got a long-term contract, we'll go ahead and paint the property lines because the flagging we use, it is biodegradable and it doesn't last much over a year. So a lot of time we'll go ahead and put the paint on the trees. We'll always take a little bark off the tree because if you don't, it won't stay on there. The bark sloughs off every year, a little bit of bark. If you take a little bit of that bark off and paint your trees, then your lines will be, you can see your lines for a decade or more.
Let's see. There's a blue flag over there. That's our buffer zone. Like I said, usually with streams, but there's no water up here, just a buffer. But usually property lines and stuff like that is one flag. You see there, he's got 3 in a row to indicate something special, like where a road would be or a landing or something like that. Something more than just a normal.
Well, the previous video that DJ did on crossing a creek, how to put in a bridge, on this map right here, it was actually, he went in somewhere in this part of the world right here to harvest this timber back in here. And it's coming back up to a landing right in here. So anyway, that one, this whole creek all the way along here, this right in here, it's all got a blue flagging on each side of the creek. We left about close to 50 foot. We can take out as much as 50% of the original crown, but that's just on each instance. But we got to leave it in good shape so nothing can get in the creeks. Nothing would run off of our skid trails, our haul roads, our decks. And plus, we don't want to get any slash in those creeks. They'll be left just as pristine as possible.
All right, so right in here, down below this property line coming in, that's where our third deck's going to be. Right in here off of the side of this road. And I thought the flags for the road were building somewhere through here.
Well, it's on up here further.
A little further.
The deck we are building would be, if I turn this map around this way, this is the way it's oriented, we're right here. And then there's a corner right up here. And that's our road system right there. We haven't come up to it yet, quite yet.
Yeah.
But we use this current road right here to get out. Okay, so the road we're working, we are about right here. Right up here is another corner, which is that corner there. Our road's going to veer off to the right here where the red flagging is. Where this road veers off to the right, it'll go back to the highway.
Have a brand new highway in here.
This will be a permanent road system that's going to be built. Goes right down through here, crosses a holler. I got it on a grade going down the hill less than 10%, less than 10% going up the other side of the hill until we get up to the ridge, and then straight on out to the highway.
All right, so we're heading back to the truck now. I guess that'll probably conclude our video. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that and learned something out of it.